Sometimes I get so busy with what I do in the studio, depending on what kind of projects I have or my workload, and it's always nice to have some backup to make sure that the house just didn't go into complete shambles, right? My wife is excellent when it comes to a bunch of stuff like this, but every once in a while we need help, and it's usually contracting out to do things around the house that we don't have the tools to do, like plumbing and repairs and things of that nature. But a lot of people, when they get busy, even the small things get neglected, like cleaning, so it's nice to be able to employ somebody to help you get out of those holes or just assist you so that your house doesn't go into shambles. And Spook's got a representation of that today in Unsettling True Cleaning Lady Horror Stories. We're gonna find out more about this in today's reaction. Make sure to subscribe to Spooked, you guys. He's an awesome narrator. I love his stories. Subscribe to me if you like reaction videos, and let's get into this one. The ambience is always so good in these. He's the master storyteller.
My name is Sarah, and I'm 32.
Okay, Sarah.
I'm a very busy person, meaning I have to be at work 80% of the time during the week and the weekends.
Sure.
I barely have time for myself, let alone handle home chores and do other home-related tasks, which was why I decided to hire a house cleaner to help me clean the house.
Sure.
The first few cleaners I got were not so good at the job, as they claimed they did. It took me a while to finally hire the perfect one.
Okay.
She was calm, listened attentively, and understood the structure of my household. I always left the house very early and came back late at night, and she always did her job perfectly, and I never had any reason to fire her.
Very nice.
That was until recently, though.
Something, right?
I woke up so late, so I had to rush through my morning routine.
Sure.
She came in while I was about to leave the house. I didn't have time to talk. I just greeted her and drove out of the house.
Sure.
I was halfway to work when I remembered I left a briefcase in the garage. I thought I dropped it in the back seat, but it was nowhere to be found.
All right.
So I had to turn back home to pick it up.
Done it all the time.
When I arrived in the driveway, I noticed something a little different about her.
Okay.
I could see her from my window, which was wide open, as she was cleaning my room, and she was putting on my dress. I didn't see her much in the morning, but I knew for certain that those weren't the clothes she was wearing when I saw her.
Right.
I wanted to go in and confront her, but I didn't have time to do that.
That's odd.
I opened the garage, picked the briefcase, and left for work.
You can install some cameras.
Weeks went by and the global pandemic happened. Like everybody else, I had to work from home.
Right.
My rustiness had reduced because I didn't have anywhere to rush to. I was supposed to let the cleaner go because there wasn't much for her to do that I couldn't handle.
Sure.
And I needed to keep both of us safe from the pandemic.
Right.
I let her keep working while following the pandemic protocols, but it was getting really weird and uncomfortable. First, she started to dress like me. She always had these maid clothes on when I first hired her, but after a few weeks, she started to wear clothes that looked very similar to the ones I had. Some clothes even looked so similar, I was almost convinced that she stole some of my clothes.
Wow, it gets
strangely, when I checked my wardrobe, my clothes were all there.
Okay.
I have this distinct way of wearing makeup. Not too much in a way that makes me look like I was going for a pageant, but I always use nude lipsticks. It looked like she spent a lot of time studying me, because she started wearing her makeup the exact same way I did. She was also becoming very creepy, in that sometimes I would catch her off guard, staring at me.
Behavior.
She even had her curly hair straightened and dyed to black to look like mine.
Like her
Frankly,
admiration is
I was
getting a little
becoming
bit
very
obsessive.
uncomfortable, and I realized I had to put a stop to it, because I was terrified of what might happen if I didn't.
Right.
It took me a while to summon up the courage to fire her, because I'm not a confrontational person, nor do I enjoy being the bearer of bad news, but I had no choice. I came up with a silly excuse to fire her, but by the look on her eyes, she knew I was no longer comfortable having her around.
Right.
Just a few days after I stopped her from coming to my house, I got a notification on my Instagram account of a new follower. I use my Instagram almost all the time, so I checked and realized it was the same cleaner. She had taken a lot of pictures that were similar to mine, and it was very creepy and scary even to date.
Wow. Like she's
I don't
mocking
feel safe knowing
a
I
lot
have
of
someone
her
who's watching
activities.
me. I blocked her from following any of my social media accounts, but to be completely honest, I never felt completely safe ever since.
Yeah, she didn't do anything bad, but that's some
My name
creepy
is
stalker
Maria,
stuff,
and
right?
this happened during the pandemic. I had lost
People
my
that take that
job,
kind of
and
interest,
I
it's
honestly
scary.
didn't have a backup plan to make ends meet. I had to keep
Right.
my family afloat while I hoped for things to get better.
Sure.
So I decided to become a house cleaner and help busy families tidy up their homes.
Okay, we're flipping it
Getting
around.
hired by people who didn't know you enough to trust you in their household was quite challenging.
Yeah.
But I ended up finding a picture-perfect family. I say
Good.
picture-perfect because it was like they were one of those families in the ads, with a
Mhm.
giant house, one brother, one sister, and young parents.
Right.
Despite not having much on my cleaning portfolio, they welcomed me with open arms and paid me more than I expected weekly.
Wow.
They were very peaceful at first gaze, but things started to change as I
kinda
got to
scary.
know them better.
It's too good to
They
be
are
true.
a very religious family,
Okay.
meaning they ate and prayed together, basically at every meal.
Okay.
They were
That's
also
cool.
the type of family to kiss each other on the lips instead of the cheek. I didn't want to offend anyone who thinks
Okay.
this is normal.
That's a little
because
bit.
I'm aware it's a relatively common thing.
Yeah.
But what was a little
but
bit more
still.
off-putting was that they even had scheduled family playtime and hangout sessions. Besides that, I don't have anything against being religious or praying, but there was something about their family rituals that felt a little artificial.
Okay.
But they were still a wonderful family overall.
Sure. This
and
just
always
seems like they're very
nice and
structured,
generous
right?
to me. I was in charge of cleaning the whole house, except sometimes when they wouldn't want me to clean some places, depending on the condition of the house.
Right.
Sometimes the mother just wants to do some things herself, and
Yeah.
sometimes we do it together.
I can see that.
One day, though, I was assigned to clean the father's study room or office.
Right.
There was nothing strenuous about cleaning it, as I
Sure.
was used to doing it all the time.
It's a study.
All I do is dust the books and return some books to their right position. But this time, while I was dusting some of the books, I noticed they appeared to be fake. I noticed it when I read one
Fake
of the
books?
titles. The Secrets, one of the books was called.
Uh-huh.
I always noticed, but never touched. And I was driven it to that day, and I wanted to touch it and possibly read through the content of the book,
Is it
just
like
out
some
of
Lorem
curiosity.
Ipsum stuff?
Though when I pulled on it, there was a soft click, which was followed by the sound of a door opening up.
Oh.
The middle shelf in the study room opened, which led to a small room that appeared to be some
Uh-oh.
sort of secret room.
Ruh-roh, Raggy.
Since they were very nice people, I didn't expect to find anything weird in the room.
Uh-huh.
I entered and switched on the light because it was a bit dark.
Okay.
The room appeared to be another study room,
Okay.
with jars of what looked like to already be chewed up chewing gums, pictures of little girls on the wall, human hair, and women's clothes. Seeing this, I quickly sped out of the room.
Oh
I wasn't
my.
sure how I was going to get the door closed, so I went back to the book and tried my luck. Luckily, I pushed it and it closed. I became a little relieved, but I was still startled by what I saw.
Yeah.
I hurriedly arranged the remaining books
Chewing
and left
gum,
the study,
Little girls.
but I collided with the father on my way
That's
out.
weird.
I fell to the ground, and he tried to help me up, but I rejected his offer as I
Right.
stood up and walked away from him. I looked back a few times to see him still staring at me as I walked down the stairs.
Uh-huh.
I must have looked a little off to him that day, but there
Right.
was no doubt I was literally shitting myself in those
Yeah.
moments.
I guess so.
But I wasn't completely sure he knew something was up,
Right.
and that I saw what I saw. I went through the scenario over
Hard to
and over in my
Play
head,
it off when you feel
picturing
like that,
him
right?
checking up on his secret room to see if anything was out of order, but there was no way he could tell, given
Right.
I didn't touch anything.
Sure.
I was thinking he was going to fire me that day, but surprisingly, he didn't say anything, and since I needed the money, I didn't consider my resignation.
Really?
The next day, however,
were creeped out
it
that
was during
bad?
this one hot afternoon. The whole family was in the backyard having fun while I was cleaning the office again.
Sure.
I could see them from the study room window. They were splashing each other in the pool and looking
Yeah.
to have a great time. I mistakenly dropped some things while I was staring at their happy faces,
Okay.
so I knelt to pick them up. While I was doing so, I heard footsteps coming towards the room.
Right.
Then, the door suddenly swung open. It was the father.
Yeah?
Not to mention the obvious, but I was quite literally shitting myself.
Yeah?
With a visibly scared look on my face, I looked at him. He stood there for a couple of seconds, just staring at me. I could feel him looking deep into my eyes to detect any type of fear. But in that moment, I could tell that he knew.
Yeah.
And we basically exchanged looks that mutually communicated we both knew what was going on.
Right.
I know you saw it, he said calmly.
Wow.
I was too afraid to speak. Then, suddenly, he sped towards me and pushed me on the floor. I was terrified as he grabbed me by the neck and tried to choke me.
What?
I didn't know what I picked, but I hit him very, very hard with it and ran out of the house. That was the last time I stepped foot in the house. I believe I barely escaped that day, and I don't know what might have happened if I didn't. I just want to get it out there that now I'm fine, but I still think about that day at least once.
Dude, you didn't call the cops from that assault? What the heck, dude? So the rest of his family may not have been onto his behaviors, but he definitely had something going on. Oh my God, that's creepy, man. Such a good story though, y'all. Spooked. Make sure to subscribe to him. Subscribe to me if you like reaction videos. Thanks so much for watching. As always, this is Zueljin signing off. We'll see you next time.